We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are iconic for their successful careers and for having one of the longest-lasting marriages Hollywood has ever witnessed. Despite the years of cheating allegations, rumors of an unhappy dynamic, and of course, the entanglement situation that rocked the internet, Jada and Will have maintained a solid front through it all, showing they're truly in it for the long haul. But we have to wonder if they are simply sticking it out because of their commitment to one another, or if there are some things that are trying to keep away from the public's eyes and out of the media's reach. For a couple that almost gives too much information away about their relationship and family ups and downs, it seems there are more than a few things that Jada and Will want to hide about their marriage. While a lot of us fell in love with the aesthetic 90s photos of Will and Jada as a young couple, most people don't know that behind their loved-up poses was a messy situation that involved a divorce. Will and Jada could have had a meet-cute moment in 1994 when she auditioned for the role of his The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air character's girlfriend, but Nia Long was chosen for the role. However, the attraction was already present and growing, despite the fact that Will Smith and Cherie Zampino were married and had a son together. Will recalled that seeing Jada on a different world was when he knew that they could be magic together. I knew there was something in our energy that would be magic, the Hitch actor revealed during a 2018 episode of Facebook Watch's Red Table Talk, hosted by Jada, her daughter Willow, and her mother Adrienne. And Will was right, but their magic came at the cost of a divorce between Will and Cherie. Although Will wasn't the one who pushed for the divorce, despite knowing how he felt about Jada, I had a realization I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with. I was sitting in a stall, and I was crying and laughing uncontrollably. And I knew Jada was the woman I was supposed to be with, but I was never getting divorced. I don't get divorced. Will revealed on the Red Table Talk episode, I went back out, sat down with Cherie, and started going back on with my life.
When I had a realization that I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with.
But then Cherie filed for divorce on Valentine's Day. And although he was initially against it, he agreed to the divorce, and they split amicably in 1995. And that's when the relationship between Jada and Will started moving towards full potential. They were beautiful, young, and talented. And Jada got pregnant with their first child, Jaden, in 1997. And later that year, Will proposed to her. But Jada's reaction was not what you would expect from someone in a magical relationship. While Will was raised in a more conventional background of marriage and family, Jada wasn't on board with the idea of getting married. In a 2019 cover story for People, Jada said, "I never wanted to get married, but my mother was like, you have to get married. She's so old school, and Will wanted a family. So I said, all right, maybe it's something I should do." Gammy freaking called Will and cried her freaking eyes out. So then I had to have a wedding, and that was infuriating. Jada told the magazine, "I had never seen a happy marriage. I adored Will. I fucking adored him. But I just didn't want to be married." We're not sure if that's the right way to start a life together, with one person opposing the union and the other eager for it. But they did it anyway. And while they make a beautiful couple, fans have never stopped wondering if Jada was only against the idea of getting married, or the idea of getting married to Will. After all, a huge shadow that continues to lurk over their relationship is a suspicious friendship that Jada shared with one late rapper. As Jada and Will's marriage progressed, they became more and more open to discussing their dynamics. But one thing they never really got around to is the rumored relationship between Jada and the late Tupac Shakur. Jada and Tupac were literal friendship goals in the 90s. They had met at the Baltimore School of Arts in the 1980s, and they grew up together, finding success in their careers. But their closeness was always up for questioning, because it seemed like they had something way more than a friendship. And it was so obvious that even Will admitted to feeling jealous about the love that they shared. Will told The Breakfast Club, "That was a big regret for me. They grew up together, they loved each other, but they never had a sexual relationship. But now they had come into that age where that was a possibility, and Jada was with me." He said in the 2020 interview, "I was deeply insecure, and I wasn't man enough to handle that relationship."
That was a huge regret of mine. I couldn't handle it, you know.
But it seems there might have been a real reason for Will to feel threatened by the relationship between Jada and Pac. In 2012, Willow Smith shared a picture of a letter she once wrote to Tupac on Instagram, and the contents of the letter was enough to raise eyebrows about what actually happened between Jada and Tupac back in the day. "Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace," Willow wrote in the letter. "I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow." And if that's not enough to make anyone pause, we don't know what is. What could Jada have possibly told Willow to have her feel so strongly for someone she never even met? Was Jada just unhappy with her life with Will the entire time? Fans couldn't figure it out, and they were rightly surprised by the letter. As someone wrote on Twitter, "I still can't believe Willow as a child wrote Tupac a letter, telling him to come back so Jada could be happy." And some fans were feeling sorry that Will had to deal with it. One Twitter user wrote, "I just feel bad for Will more than anything at this point. Like, he really doesn't deserve this." Although the original Instagram post of the letter has since been deleted, images of it have resurfaced over the years. More recently, when Jada and Will's marriage was making the headlines for the entanglement situation, long before the infamous Oscar slap. Throughout the years, Will and Jada have dealt with several rumors and allegations, as their unorthodox marriage has long been the subject of speculation. At one point, people believed that they were swingers, and Jada addressed it on the Watch What Happens live show, emphasizing that it wasn't true. But none of the rumors could have been so shocking to the world, as news of Jada Pinkett Smith having a situationship with American singer August Alsina. Jada and August had met at the Wireless Festival in London in 2015, and then 2 years later, they attended the 2017 BET Awards together. But it wasn't enough to get people questioning their intentions, as it only seemed like he was a friend of the family, and Jada seemed to confirm this when August was a guest on the Red Table Talk show in 2018. August had come on the show to discuss his issues with alcohol, sex, and drug addiction during the dark phase of his life, and Jada introduced him as a dear family friend. But he was more than a friend. And the whole situation started unraveling on the 1st of July 2020, when August told The Breakfast Club's Angela Yee that he gave years of his life to Jada when they were in a romantic relationship. And he added that he had Will Smith's blessing before proceeding with the relationship. And the internet was ablaze. Despite the memes that were overflowing from the situation, there were some people who didn't believe that August was telling the truth. Someone wrote on Twitter, "Y'all believe the August and Jada situation they discussed on Breakfast Club, but it didn't matter whether we believed it or not, because Jada was quick to address the situation." A day after August's confession, Jada tweeted, "There's some healing that needs to happen, so I'm bringing myself to the Red Table." The internet anticipated the revelations that were sure to happen at the Red Table Talk, and we were not disappointed. Will and Jada were the only ones in the video, and they started addressing the situation by discussing their marriage and how August became a part of the situation. Referencing the 2018 episode of the Red Table Talk, Jada talked about how August had been dealing with some issues with their help, and when she and Will were going through a break, she became involved with August. Talking about their break, Will said, "We decided we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy." And then Jada mentioned how things progressed. "From there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
relationship. Absolutely.
The internet got a brand new meme from the Smiths. "Of all the things I'm grateful for in 2020, is Jada Pinkett giving us the word entanglement," someone wrote on Twitter. But while there were multiple memes, think pieces, debates, and jokes about the situation, there was one particular joke that would make Will Smith snap. And it happened 2 years after Entanglement Gate went viral. After the situation with August Alsina simmered down from hourly jokes to monthly references, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett seemed to be out of the negative tabloids for a while, but then everything got messy again at the 2022 Academy Awards. Earlier that night in March 2022, Will and Jada had sparked headlines with their stunning appearance on the red carpet, but by the end of the night, no one was remembering what they wore. There was only one thing on everyone's minds: the slap. Actor-comedian Chris Rock had been presenting a segment of the award show when he made a G.I. Jane joke about Jada, referencing her recent baldness. Jada, who has been open about suffering from hair loss, rolled her eyes at the joke. But Will didn't handle the situation similarly. He walked up to the stage and slapped Chris Rock before returning to his seat. Once seated, he repeatedly shouted, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." While that became yet another meme and running joke online, the aftermath of the slap was more serious than anyone could have guessed. Will apologized while receiving his Oscar for Best Actor shortly after the slap, saying, "I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees." The King Richard actor said with tears in his eyes, "Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. Love will make you do crazy things." But that apology wasn't enough to erase what he had done. The Academy banned Will Smith from all events and programs for the next 10 years, both in person and virtual, and several productions he was involved in were left undecided. Now, in all this, fans were left wondering what Jada's reaction would be, considering the fact that Will had been indirectly defending her. One Twitter user said, "Jada Pinkett is a problematic person. I'm not sure how at this point anyone can't see all the ways she has dragged Will publicly. I'm really not shocked she didn't defend him this time around. But the jury's still out on whether or not Jada's response to the situation was supportive of Will." In the Red Table Talk episode, where she discussed the incident over 2 months after it had happened, Jada said, "Now about Oscar night. My deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have the opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile." She continued, "The state of the world today, we need them both, and we all actually need one another more than ever. Until then, Will and I are continuing to do what we have done for the last 28 years, and that's keep figuring out this thing called life together." And with recent pictures showing the two leaving celeb-favored restaurant, Nobu Malibu, they're definitely sticking it out for the long haul. Jada and Will have always been a united front against the media and the public. And although there are a few things that will always make us take a second look at their relationship, we can't deny the fact that they're committed to weathering every season together. Do you think Will was really on board with the entanglement? How do you think Jada pushes the fair narratives in her direction? And do you think there's a reason why Jada is still with Will, despite how unhappy she has repeatedly said the marriage makes her? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this story, feel free to like this video and subscribe to The Chronicle for more inside stories on your favorite celebrities.